Greetings from Geneva, where there is the second round of talks between Ukrainian and Russian delegations, overseen by America. And going into these discussions, I think expectations are pretty much rock bottom for any kind of breakthrough. We may see continued prisoner of war exchanges, but going into these talks, America has again refused to condemn Russia for its continued full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Washington says it wants to keep the hopes of peace alive by not criticizing Moscow. Ukraine is pretty unimpressed. It wants clarity from America as to what it will do in a military sense to stop Russia from attacking in the future once this war ends. But it also wants more pressure on the Kremlin in the form of sanctions. And clearly, for Russia, it is happy to keep fighting. And so I think of this piece that we put out in the March of 2022 as people tried to escape the capital, Kyiv, as Russian forces moved in. Because in these diplomatic times, 4 years on, they're in danger, you sense, of being forgotten. A city and region not dropping its guard. Army chiefs think Russian troops are about to launch an all-out offensive on Kyiv, and they're not exactly going to get the red carpet treatment. While the defenders look outwards, citizens are going the other way, towards the centre, escaping Russian mortar fire on the western outskirts of the city. The most pointed part of Russia's advance here, which today Moscow tried to also present as an opportunity. They announced temporary ceasefires to let people evacuate surrounded cities across Ukraine, including Kyiv. The eventual destinations? Belarus or Russia, the facilitator and architect of this brutal invasion. So will people at the capital station be tempted to go the other way?
Never, especially to Russia, no. It's better here or to the European countries, but not to Russia.
They never say the truth. You cannot trust them ever.
This is where the vast majority of people are heading, west to cities like Lviv. What Ukrainians tell you is that they don't want to be under Russia's control, let alone in it.
Other locations listed on these Russian humanitarian corridors are Kharkiv, which has endured days of heavy fighting. Look at this university. Mariupol in the southeast is another location. There were 2 attempted ceasefires over the weekend here. They both lasted less than an hour. Ukraine has described Russia's proposals as immoral.
There's a feeling that it's happening in some other country, but it's happening in our country. Exactly, in our country, not anywhere else. In our country, which always wanted peace.
Whereas the invaders continue to blame so-called Ukrainian nationalists for breakouts in fighting.
Detailed information about the humanitarian corridors was given to the Ukrainian side in advance, as well as dedicated entities of the United Nations, the OSCE, and the International Committees of the Red Cross.
Today has been a continuation of Russia claiming to be the liberator in this war, a conflict which is pushing people either underground or out of the country they call home.